In August 2025, a line crew in Seminole, Florida, was replacing a utility pole for Duke Energy. The pole made contact with an energized overhead transmission line. One lineman was electrocuted and killed. Two more were hospitalized with severe burns. Federal investigators from OSHA came back in March 2026 with 3 serious violations against the contractor, Primoris T&D Services. The crew had not kept the required minimum distance from the energized line or shut the power off first. Nobody had been assigned to watch and warn the crew how close they were getting. And the job briefing that morning never covered the one thing that mattered most: what to do around a live transmission line. $49,650 in proposed fines. The contractor is fighting the citations. But the man who died isn't here to fight anything. Here's why that crew was on that pole in the first place. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says electrical power line installers and repairers earn a median wage of $92,560 a year across 127,400 jobs nationwide, growing 7% through 2034. No degree required. But the real story isn't the growth, it's who's about to leave. The International Energy Agency's 2025 Global Workforce Report found that in grid-related jobs, 1.4 workers are nearing retirement for every single worker under 25 entering the field. The average age in this industry is now 50. More than half the current workforce has fewer than 10 years of experience left to give before they're gone too. Goldman Sachs Research puts a number on what that leaves behind. The power sector needs over 750,000 new workers by 2030 as the grid gets rebuilt to carry the electricity data centers and electric vehicles are pulling out of it. Apprenticeship programs are trying to scale from 45,000 new apprentices a year to 65,000 just to keep the lights on. This is one of the widest open ladders in the American trades right now. Climbing it safely is a different question than climbing it fast. Rung 1. You start as an apprentice, usually through an IBEW local or a utilities own line school, no college and no experience required. Apprentice linemen earn between $15 and $30 an hour while they train, climbing pay steps every few months as they pass certifications. This is the only rung where a journeyman is legally required to be next to you every time you touch equipment. That rule exists because of mornings like the one in Seminole. Learn it like your life depends on it, because on Rung 2, it will. Rung 2, full journeyman status, usually after 3 to 4 years of apprenticeship and a state or union exam. The average journeyman lineman in the United States earns around $85,590 a year, and the middle half of the trade runs between $59,500 and $119,500, depending on your local, your utility, and your overtime. You're no longer being trained to survive the job. You're expected to already know how. Rung 3, and this is the one recruiters don't advertise enough: storm work. When a hurricane or an ice storm takes down a grid, utilities call in traveling line crews from across the country, and the pay structure changes completely. Overtime rates can climb past $100 an hour, and linemen working a major storm restoration have reported bringing home $13,000 to $14,000 in a single week. It's 16-hour days in conditions most people are being evacuated from. The money is real, so is the reason it's that high. Rung 4. General foreman, running a full crew instead of a single truck. General foremen in utility line work are earning $73,000 to $115,000 a year. You stop being judged on how fast you personally climb a pole and start being judged on whether everyone on your crew climbs down from it the same way they went up. Rung 5. You start your own line contracting company and bid the work utilities use to hand only to giants like Primoris. This is the rung the industry needs most and talks about least, because there's no clean salary survey for it. It costs real capital, bucket trucks, insurance, bonding to even qualify for utility contracts. Most crews that try it stay small forever. The ones who make it are the ones utilities call first when the next storm hits. Here's the reversal nobody puts in the recruiting pitch. The same grid that needs 750,000 new workers by 2030 is the same industry where a crew in Florida wasn't kept a safe distance from a live wire, wasn't watched by a designated observer, and wasn't briefed on the one hazard that could kill them. Every one of those 3 failures had already been written into the safety rulebook before that morning. Someone just decided the job briefing could run short. The demand for linemen is not going away. The grid is only getting older and busier at the same time the people who know how to fix it are retiring faster than anyone is replacing them. But the latter only works if every rung below you insists on the boring parts, the minimum approach distance, the observer, the full briefing. The lineman in Seminole climbed the same ladder everyone else in this video just heard about. He never got the chance to climb any higher.